All right, this is the code for the bubble sort algorithm. There's don't get too hung up too much. There's a little part of this code that I would expect you to be able to write, but I just want you to see how this matches up with what I just. If you're watching these sequentially, this video matches up with what I just showed you on the chalkboard or Excel. All right, um, let's go down. Let's look in main first. All right, nothing you haven't did here before. Constant int size. We're going to make an array of 6. Int value size. So it calls for an array of 6. And we put the 6 numbers that I showed you on the chalkboard. 615243. See out the unsorted values, auto element, this colon values. This is one I just showed you this. You haven't wrote any programs. All this does is go through this code right here just goes through each element at a time, and this sees it out. So there's no magic to it. This is something that's new. It actually came out since I've been in school. I've been trying to throw it in some programs just to kind of get used to it. I'm told that it's not really a practice that all programmers are doing, but at least I like to be current. So all this does is take you through auto element. It takes you through every element in values, which is the array that we're working through. It takes you through every element, and this outs every element. So no magic there, but just know that this will print out 615243. This function here, this is the big function. This is the actual bubble sort algorithm. This sends the array and the size to the bubble sort function. It sorts the array, and then down here we print out that array. This sorts it, and this just does about the same. This just does about the same thing of this. It goes through every element and prints it. The real work in this program is this bubble sort, which we send the array values and we send the size, and it does all the sorting. All right, let's go down and look at the bubble sort function. Here it is. Void bubble sort. We're sending in an array and we're sending in the size. Okay. Int, this declares an integer max element and an int index. Now, this is a hot mess, but I did this to show you that you can look at arrays either way. You can look at them from 0 to the end or the end to the beginning. But the key thing I want you to take away from this is size minus 1. Remember I told you that we bubbled through this 5 times? There's 6 elements. We're going to bubble through this 5 times, size minus 1. This outer for loop does the bubbles. Okay, the inner for loop compares the two items and then swaps them if it needs to. So this outer one is going to go through it 5 times, just like I showed you on that video that we were getting ready to go through it 5 times, but we only went through it 2.5. All right, so this starts out at 5 and then decrements 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can look at it this way. I just want you to see that you're, as the programmer, you got control to do anything. You can increment and decrement. All I know on this one is I want to go through 5 times, and this code actually works. This will go through 5 times. I start out with size 6 minus 1, so max element equals 5. It's going to go through 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then the comparison comes through. 0 is not greater than 0, so it goes through 5 times just like we would have wanted to. So the inner for loop's the one that's more interesting. So this one's a basic for loop. 0 equals the index as long as index is less than max element index plus plus. But look at this. This is array index. If array index is greater than array index plus 1. So what that's saying is 0 is index 0, that first element, greater than the second element. And if not, swap. Okay, this calls another function called swap. So remember how we looked at each pair? If the first one was greater than the second one, we swapped. That's all this is saying. This is saying if the first is greater than the second, swap them. Then it'll walk you through just like the program I did. Again, I'm not going to have you all write in this program, but I wanted you to see how this works. This is freshman level programming, but we don't have time to get too much into this bubble sort. So I just want you to know what it does. This next one, this is fair game for programming. This is the swap function, all right? This, what do you call it? Is that called an ampersand? I forgot what it calls it, an and thing, an and, whatever it is. What that means is that is the address. So this is the address of A and the address of B. So what this is saying is A, okay, we're going to declare a temp and we're going to assign it A. Then we're going to make B equal to A and B equal to temp. That just swaps them. Think about how this is. If we declare a temp and we give it the address of A, all right, then we assign B to A, then temp to B. All we did is swap them. This right here, these 3 lines are something you'll see in Programming Forever. It's a basic swap type thing. You could have got around the address thing here, but this right here is a basic swap, and that happens a lot in programming. Take a look at that and look pretty deep into it. Maybe even pencil it out. You need temp. You can't just say B equals A, because that would mean B and A would be equal to each other. Okay, you need the temp to make a third, sort of like a round robin thing. A equals temp. We assign the value of A to temp. Then we make B equals A. Then temp equals B. Then no information is lost. A and B are swapped. The value that was in A is in B, and B is in A. So I'll run this just to show you that this program does work. So the unsorted values were 6, 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, and the sorted values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, this just puts in program what I put in words earlier, working inside out. This line here, if the first element is greater than the second element, let's swap them. And this for loop walks through them in pairs of 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Then working out further, this whole thing does it 5 times, which is size minus 1.